everyone, and welcome to Beyond Focus TV. My name is Angie Daniel, and I am the hostess of the show. On tonight's show, we have with us Ms. Johann Elysee. She is the principal of Sterling and Black Associates. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll introduce her to you. We'll be right back.
Beyond Focus TV presents
its third annual ceremony on Saturday, June 16 at the prestigious Crystal Manor,
1460 Flatbush Avenue.
Et oui, le samedi 16 juin 2013, venez célébrer tous les papas. Venez manifester votre amour à votre père, mari, frère, cousin ou ami, pourquoi pas.
Who will be Father of the Year?
You must be there to know. La soirée sera animée par la diva Martine Marseille. Come and bask into the artistry of Monvelino Alexis. DJ Duvet sera aussi de la partie pour vous assurer une soirée à nul autre pareil.
Hollywood style.
Lot of surprises, honorees, un grand gala pour honorer tous les pères. Valet parking will be available.
Maîtresse de cérémonie, Angie Daniel, Marie-Carmel Bastien.
Info 917-873-3996 or www.beyondfocustv.com. Papi chéri?
Oui, ma fifi.
I love you. 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 I love you.
Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. We are here. We're going to start a conversation with Ms. Elysee about what it means to have a company or a business and then to revamp it, to make it better than what it was. So I'll let her tell you all about how we can do that. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Angie. It's a great pleasure to be on your show, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. And actually, you know, what we usually try to do within the show is to get the community to understand different aspects of life. So to start, what is Sterling and Black Associates?
Okay. Sterling and Black Associates is a management consulting firm that I launched about 4 years ago here in Brooklyn. And for those of you who don't know what management consultants do, I told my daughter that it's like being a doctor for organizations or for companies. What we do is we assess problems and then we come up with solutions to help solve those problems.
Okay. So you called yourself the principal?
Yes.
So explain to me first tell us a little bit about the principal and why you called yourself a principal instead of a CEO or president.
Okay. So typically for consulting firms or any other kind of professional services organization, the principal is sort of the leader or the founder of that organization, and it's similar to a CEO or a president, but I felt since it was a professional services organization and people are used to having that be the title for the lead, then I should be the principal.
So tell me a little bit about you.
Wow, how much time do we have?
We have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So I'll tell you a little bit about the firm, and that will kind of help understand why I created it and who I am. Okay. So first, the name. You know, people always ask me about Sterling and Black Associates. I wanted to come up with something that was original, that could also grow with the firm as it expanded, and also give people the sense that it's not just me as the principal, but there's other people also, other consultants, other experts in their fields that I bring in together to help solve those problems that I told you about that companies and organizations have that need to be solved. my background is a bit varied. Well, I was born in Haiti, and I came when I was 10 years old, and my family lives in Queens and also Brooklyn, and I'm a Brooklynite for many years now. Professionally, I have a master's in development economics and technology policy. And the reason I wanted to do that was actually to understand the political economy and how countries develop from, for instance, where Haiti is, or other countries that are least developed, to most developed status, like the United States and other countries in Europe and other places. So I really wanted to understand the theory behind how countries move from least to most developed. After I finished my degree, I came back to New York. I attended Tufts University in Boston, and I started working on Wall Street, actually, because I recognized that was capital formation and understanding how businesses grow, how businesses invest, how people, put funds together to invest in industry, in, consumer goods, et cetera, that was something that I really wanted to understand. So I went to work on Wall Street. I started at Morgan Stanley, and I became a public finance analyst at Moody's Investor Service. I did that for a few years, and then I went to American Express. I did marketing. Consumer marketing. I did acquisitions, so bringing people into American Express. And then my last corporate job was with Microsoft. And so I've taken all that experience and that expertise, both the training as well as the practical business experience, and I use that to help solve the problems for my clients.
Okay. Quick question, because I think it's really important. I like the idea of where you branched out. Why create Sterling and Black? Why?
Well, I've been an entrepreneur, I think, my whole life, even though I've worked in corporate, but I've always wanted to create my own enterprise, because this is another aspect of developing economic strength as a community. I felt really needed to understand how to do it ourselves. And then, so if I was going to, walk the walk, then I was going to have to do that myself and learn the fundamentals of running a business, so that I can also use that to help, I think, eventually the community as well.
Okay, so basic stuff, right? So you use different strategy to create an aspect of what that company is supposed to be. Because I think what I don't want to happen is, while we're having the conversation, I don't want the community to misunderstand or not get the point of what we're trying to do. Because I think it's really important. One of the things everyone is talking about is how to create your own business, be your own boss. How do you become your own boss, or how do you create your own business?
It's a long process. I want people to really understand and internalize that point. I think there's several aspects of running a business that you need to know. But the most important thing is, you might be a dentist or a lawyer or a consultant or a stylist. The most important aspect of business is actually sales.
Okay.
Without customers and clients, you have no business.
Yes.
And that was a hard lesson for me to learn. I'd never sold anything. I was in marketing and I was in financial services before. So I've had to learn over the last few years how to transform myself into a salesperson. So in fact, most of the time that I spend, except when I'm working on client projects, obviously, I spend my time selling. So but what that means is, it's not I'm trying to put something over on people. I'm actually a problem solver.
Okay.
So another important thing to know as a business person is your listening skills. You need to be able to listen to what people are saying.
Yes.
What needs they're expressing. Communicate back to them so that they understand that what they're saying.
What they're saying.
And then take it from there. So it's really, I would say sales, communication and listening. I would say negotiation, analysis. Those are really fundamental skills that you have to have as a business person. Now, the other side of that is more practical day-to-day. So you need, to understand money management, right? You need to know how to manage your cash flow. Especially in this country, you need to have all your books in order. You need to have an accountant. You have to have your lawyer in place. You need to master technology as well, in terms of being able to communicate with your market. So all those things are sort of fundamental to being a business person, I would say.
So that's just the idea if you wanted to create a business, right? So you need to have these things into place first.
But I want to say, though, you can't wait, I think, to have everything in place. You have to be comfortable with learning as you go as well.
Okay.
So it's not going to be perfect on, day 1 or day 51 or day 300. It's going to be something that you're going to have to learn to grow with and learn to deepen and sharpen your skills.
Okay. I have a question in terms of exactly what the point that you're making, but we have to take a break, and then we'll be right back to continue this conversation.
Great.
We'll be right back.
Beyond Focus TV presents
Its third annual ceremony on Saturday, June 16 at the prestigious Crystal Manor.
1460 Flatbush Avenue.
Et oui, le samedi 16 juin 2013, venez célébrer tous les papas. Venez manifester votre amour à votre père, mari, frère, cousin ou ami, pourquoi pas.
Who will be Father of the Year?
You must be there to know. La soirée sera animée par la diva Martine Marseille. Come and bask into the artistry of Monvelino Alexis. DJ Duvet sera aussi de la partie pour vous assurer une soirée à nul autre pareil.
Hollywood style.
Lot of surprises, honorees, un grand gala pour honorer tous les pères. Valet parking will be available.
Maîtresse de cérémonie, Angie Daniel, Marie-Carmel Bastien.
Info 917-873-3996 or www.beyondfocustv.com. Papi chéri,
Oui, ma fifi.
I love you. 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 I love you.
Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. If you're just turning on, we are here with Ms. Johann Elysee. She is the principal of Sterling and Black Associates. It is a point well made that before we started the conversation, I wanted people to understand the aspect of what a consultant firm is and what a consultant firm is used for. Then we took a break. So in basic layman term that you can actually come up with a point. Can you explain to us what is it that people would need it for?
So, one of the examples that I think would help illustrate specifically what consultants could be used for is the following. Let's say you have a company where there's a lot of turnover. So people are leaving. You're hiring people in, but they're not staying very long. For some reason, they keep leaving, and you don't know why that is. So a firm like mine would be brought in to help understand the situation. So why is there such high turnover? And then figure out what the solutions are to solve that problem. Okay. So in a little bit more detail. So you call us and you say, we're having a problem with turnover, we don't understand what's going on. So first what we do is we sit down with you and we do an assessment. So there's a phase where we ask questions. It's sort of the diagnostic. When you go to the doctor, they take your temperature, they take your blood pressure, etc. So we try to understand
before we figure out if you have the fever.
Exactly. We figure out what's going on. So we do an assessment. Based on our assessment, then we decide specifically where we're going to dig deeper. So you have a high fever, right? Well, in this case, people are leaving, we think, once we've perhaps interviewed a few people because they're getting more money from your competitors.
Okay.
Or, so that's an external reason, it could be. Or they're having issues internally, perhaps with the management structure, or they're not understanding very clearly what their roles are, what their responsibilities are. They're being managed incorrectly, perhaps. Yes. Perhaps you're bringing in the wrong group of people. Maybe you're needing, people with a certain skill set, and you're bringing a different set of skills, and it's not matching with what the company's needing, and also with what the workers are needing. So we do this assessment, we do the analysis of what the issues are, and then working with you, we present you this set of issues, this set of data, this set of analysis and conclusions, and then we come up with a recommended set of solutions. So we say, well, you know what, it looks like you're bringing in the wrong set of people. So you might want to change the job descriptions and also the set of skills that you're requiring for certain people to come in. So that might be one thing. Maybe you're not paying them enough. So we do some benchmarking with your competitive set of companies, and we tell you, well, it looks like you're paying them 10, 20% below what the market, and this could possibly be a reason. So these are the different things that we might come up with in terms of recommendations.
So once you bring the strategy idea, okay, is there a turnaround time? Like, do you come in and says, okay, I could fix this within a certain amount of year, or is it like based on plan?
So our motto is customize strategies for success. And I want to emphasize the word customize because every company, every organization is different. It's not a cookie cutter approach. It's very, it's almost, I want to use the word personal very deliberately. It's very personal. It's very specific to that organization. So, I won't say it's going to take 3 months or 6 months. It might take 2 months. It might take 7 months, depending on the scope, the breadth of the issue, the size of the company, how many people we have to deal with, how much research we have to do. It could take, that definitely varies.
Okay. One of the things that you talk about on your website is the 5 steps of revamping.
Yes.
I thought that makes sense. And two questions is like, first is what are the 5 steps? One, and second, can people use that in their regular life, everyday life?
Absolutely.
So what are the 5 steps?
So the 5 steps are analyzing what I call your SWOT. This is, a standard framework that's used in consulting. It's called the 5 steps are strengths, looking at your strengths, looking at your weaknesses, looking at the opportunities that are in the market, looking at the threats, and then also putting the whole thing together. So once you've done your analysis, you put the whole thing together, and then that gives you the opportunity to then go on and create a specific strategy to address the results of the SWOT.
Okay, so within a company, you need to know, I think that's very clear. And a lot of the time that people have businesses, I've seen it, because there's a lot of, as much as people open businesses, it's closing.
Yes.
And it's happening in, I'll use Brooklyn because I live in Brooklyn, right? For example, is it because they're not assessing it the right way, or is it because the market value or whatever that they're marketing is not towards this community? So would it be part of getting the community to be involved? I'm not sure.
So those are really key points that you're making. It could be any number of things, but the SWOT framework that I just talked to you about is a critical step in understanding exactly why it is that these businesses are not thriving.
Okay.
So when you look at the strengths, it could be, for instance, that the founder of the business is an expert at, baking. They make wonderful cakes, right? But one of the weaknesses could be that they don't have enough money, they don't have enough capital to keep them going through the beginning stages of the business. So it could take anywhere from 0 to 18 months to really get things going, right? But maybe they only have 6 months of money in the bank funding to keep them open and running. So month 7 comes, when the orders don't come in, unfortunately they have to close. So that's when you look at weakness. Opportunities, not only could the baker in our example be marketing to people in our community, but I think Haitian cakes are so delicious that they could be marketing it to
everyone.
Yeah. But how do they do that? Right? So they have to have a specific plan for taking advantage of that opportunity. Okay. The threats are, what other bakers, how are people changing their diets, for instance? Are people eating less cakes? Are people eating different cakes? There's this whole thing now about gluten-free. Is that a threat? Or is that something that they could use as an opportunity? So this analysis is actually pretty critical in terms of understanding and then managing the business. So it's a very easy framework. It's an easy set of guidelines to understand and to be able to apply to really any business.
I mean, for me, what I hear from you is once you're opening a business, right? The idea of it is that you need to figure out what's around you, number one.
Correct.
You need to figure out where you can market this business that you're putting together.
Correct.
I have a friend of mine who is really good. Really, he's like the greatest DJ ever. And I always say this to him. He comes with different group of people to entertain. It's just I feel like the people that he's advertising to are the people that should be advertised. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
So how do you change the concept?
Yes.
Would you, as a business, the question for me, would you, as a consultant, be able to tell this person either, one, this you're not marketing in the right place, or two, this is not your business?
Absolutely.
You don't answer that question yet. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue that conversation, because I think as a consultant, you have to straight up be honest with people.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Beyond Focus TV presents
its third annual ceremony on Saturday, June 16 at the prestigious Crystal Manor.
1460 Flatbush Avenue.
Et oui, le samedi 16 juin 2013, venez célébrer tous les papas. Venez manifester votre amour à votre père, mari, frère, cousin ou ami, pourquoi pas.
Who will be Father of the Year?
You must be there to know. La soirée sera animée par la diva Martine Marseille. Come and bask into the artistry of Monvelino Alexis. DJ Duvet sera aussi de la partie pour vous assurer une soirée à nul autre pareil.
Hollywood style.
Lot of surprises, honorees, un grand gala pour honorer tous les pères. Valet parking will be available.
Maîtresse de cérémonie, Angie Daniel, Marie-Carmel Bastien.
Info 917-873-3996 or www.beyondfocustv.com. Papi chéri,
Oui, ma fifi.
I love you. 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 I love you.
Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. We are here with Principal Johann Elysee from Sterling and Black Associates. Conversation that we just left off was talking about exactly, as a consultant firm, how honest are you with your clients? Explain to them, like, first of all, either this is not something for you or you talking to the wrong group of people.
So a couple of things. One of our key principles and values at Sterling and Black Associates is integrity. And as you see on my website, I say that we tell it to you like it is. So there's no room in the work that we do for a lack of integrity or for masking things or for making things look better than they actually are. We're here to help and not to hinder. So being honest is actually a critical thing for us, and that's part of everything that we do. In the example that you brought up in terms of the DJ, one of the more basic things that he would have to do is understand his target audience. So he has to do some analysis and some research to understand who it is that would want to have him as the DJ.
Yeah.
It could be any number of groups, right? It could be, restaurants.
Well, there's the groups
or
that do not want to
churches.
pay this.
Well, then, that I think would require even, deeper targeting. So you might have 100 groups that you think are the appropriate ones, but you have to also look at the revenues and the budgets that those groups, may have in order to support paying the DJ. Now, that's sometimes really hard information to come by, right?
Yeah.
People are not...
but people need to be honest and say, look, listen, this is what it is. This is what I'm offering. I mean, if you as a DJ, you come in with 6 people to entertain whatever the party is, and I'm telling you my price range, for example, I'll use a number, at least $2,000, and you offer me $500.
Then clearly that's not part of your target, right? Clearly they're not able to afford you. And I think there's a tension between, do I take this, even though this is not really, they're not compensating me properly, or do I keep going and find the people that really should be compensating me? And my view is you should really be able to keep going and find the people that are going to compensate you for the value that you're bringing to them, because it's real value to what he's doing. If he's very good, it could actually help the groups that he's DJing for to also grow and provide value. Because if you have a sort of a mediocre DJ versus a very good one, it's a bad reflection on the group
you
as well.
As whatever the association.
So I would say that he also needs to communicate the kind of value that he brings, and this is all something that we can help him craft the messaging that he would take to those different groups.
That's
critical.
What makes Sterling and Black Associates different from the rest of the consulting firms?
I think it's our passion and creativity, and our integrity. Not to say that other folks are not, then they don't have integrity, but I think, as I told you before, we tell it to you like it is. Okay. We're very upfront, transparent. It's a very collaborative experience working with us. We work very closely with our clients. And so I think, passion, creativity, integrity, and collaboration are sort of the hallmarks of our firm.
Okay, so if people wanted to get in touch with you, just because, I believe, like, if you own a business, at some point in life, you need to have an idea, have somebody kind of come in, take a look in terms of what you're doing, what could be better.
Absolutely.
I mean, sometimes in life, we just, because we are functioning in it, you're not really paying attention to what your needs are. Or it could be, you could just tweak one or two things and make it better, or get a different view from it, whether it's the way it looks to how you serve. I think it's really important for us to have an idea of having somebody else's opinion kind of change things a little bit. So
absolutely.
if they wanted to get in touch with you, what can they reach you at?
sterlingandblack.us, that's our website. I'm also on Twitter, Sterling and Black.
I love Twitter.
At Sterling and Black is the handle. I'm on LinkedIn. And so, any one of those channels, they can reach out. They can drop me a note on the website, and,
I know it's not like the community. We do community services. What can the community get out of Sterling and Black?
I mean, I think there's any number of things. I as you mentioned, I know one of the challenges is really understanding, marketing and messaging. So that's one area that we focus on. I know digital marketing is a big gap,
And not a lot of people understand that.
so how to use Twitter, how to use Facebook, how to use YouTube to market. I've actually written some articles on that, so people can definitely leverage us for that. If you need, organizational development, so making your company or your team work better. If you need a new marketing strategy or a new just company strategy, we can also work with that.
Part of my question, I had a two-part question for you earlier, is what can you use out of the five-step strategy we talked about earlier that you can use personally?
Well, it's funny you said that because, as I mentioned, the workshop I had a couple of months ago, you can apply that to your personal life as well. There was a student in the room that took the workshop, and she said she was going to use it to figure out what she was going to do in terms of her academic life. So looking at her strengths, looking at her weaknesses, what opportunities there were in the field that she was pursuing. What threats there might be. So it could be maybe the field is changing or the field is evolving or contracting. So that's also a threat. So using that framework, she said, was going to be very easy for her as a student, personally, to be able to, to improve herself and improve her chances.
When I saw that online, I thought, it would be a good thing for people to kind of take that and use it personally.
You can definitely use it personally. Absolutely.
Well, Ms. Elysee, that's the end of our show. I know the community will benefit from this conversation, and the idea of changing the aspect of whatever it is you own, whether it's yourself, a business, a venture, an idea, being able to share that with a group of people and being able to find a way to make that work for you in terms of bringing revenues. At the end of the day, everything we do is how can we make it better for the community and benefit from it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much, Angie. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. It's the end of our show. We'll see you next Tuesday, same place, same time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.